Alright, it's Barry and today on Grow It I've got an early May plot tour. Well, up to now, the weather has been absolutely great this year. It's been really nice and warm. It's been really sunny, but it has still been raining in between as well overnight, which is absolutely perfect because it means I've not been getting soaked in the day while I'm at the allotment. And it's really starting to show in all the plants now, especially the ones outside, which are doing really, really well. And I've also been really busy. I've been getting all my beds ready and I've been sort of getting on top of all the jobs and stuff. I think one of the biggest ones with the allotment is always weeds. I wish I was trying to grow weeds because they just grow everywhere, obviously. We'll start with the greenhouse anyway. I've got all my seedlings in here. Most of the stuff's been potted up now anyway. It's been taken through to the polytunnel. I've got loads and loads of pots of stuff in there. But yeah, starting with everything in here. I mean, I've got my sweet peas. These are like really doing well. These are definitely needing to go out now. These are getting a bit too big, especially for these little cells. Interestingly, the ones that I sowed from the seeds that I harvested from the plants last year, only one of them's germinated, so yeah, probably won't bother doing that again. I don't know if that was just something to do with the genetics of the variety. Maybe they were already an F1. I don't even know what sort they were when I put them in last year. They were like an old pack from B&Q, so possibly an F1 generation. Maybe they were sterile or something. But yeah, only got one of those germinate. But the rest of them, they're absolutely fine, and they're going to look amazing once they go in. Just behind those, I've got some Swedes. These are still a bit small. And maybe just wait for them to get a bit bigger and I'll start potting them up ready to go out. See, I've already thinned them out, but there's still a couple more that have popped up there. Behind those, I've got my marigolds. I think I said this last time, they took absolutely ages for these to germinate, and they're still a bit, not great. I expected these to germinate a bit better, and there's a couple of different varieties in there actually. There's a couple of different packs and everything, and that's probably why I'm gonna have to go back and have a look and see which ones I did, because obviously one of these packs isn't very good. I know that they're in twos, but yeah, whatever pack this was isn't very good, and they're desperate for watering as well. I'll have to do that in a bit. I've still got these violas on the go. These have germinated. I think I sold these in November, I think last year, or October. I think I did them for a seed of the week video, and they didn't even germinate until recently, but yeah, they've done absolutely smashing. Obviously, they've flowered a bit there. I don't even really need them now, but I'll put them in somewhere just for the sake of it, since they've bothered growing now. And then I've got the Nasturtiums there at the back there in the toilet roll tubes. They're starting to germinate now. I thought they wasn't going to bother doing anything because there was yeah, they've been in for a while, but they've started germinating now, which is great. And then I've got a tub full of lettuces that need going in. I've got lettuces everywhere. I've got lettuces here. I've got trays of lettuces under here as well. They're everywhere. I've just got them in bags in these little trays because they're hydroponic lettuces. So they've got the grow plugs on the bottom, and they're just sitting in little bags of watering trays. And then as soon as I've got a bed ready, I'll just plant them out, and they'll go straight out there. So I'm gonna have to try and fit that back in there now. And apart from that, I've got the onions. They're there at the back. Oh, that's just poured out everywhere. These are the onions from the seeds from the onion scraps plant. If you remember that video, yeah, these are doing really well as well. I'm possibly going to start thinning these out, and yeah, I was tempted to try and grow some sets for next year with these, because I thought that would be really nice to do, so that we're still sort of growing the progeny of that original onion. And I think that's nearly up to 2 years this year. So yeah, I'll show you that in a minute because that's still outside. And then I've got some dahlias here at the back. These are doing really good. I grew some of these last year from these seeds as well, and they grew really nice, but I didn't even end up planting them out because I completely forgot, and then I sort of came across them in the other greenhouse and they was absolutely massive, so I didn't end up bothering planting them out, try and not murder all these sweet peas as I put these back. Yeah, and apart from that, I've just got all my tomatoes. These are here at the front. Got the cherry falls. I had them in the other day for the tomato hanging basket video. These are nearly big enough to make another one. Just keeping them in here for now, just until they're a little bit bigger. And then I've got the the ones that I grew from the tomato seed comparison video. So I've got all these growing here. I'm going to plant these in the polytunnel just once they're a little bit bigger, and once I've been bothered digging out another bed, because it's absolutely back-breaking digging in this soil. It's like concrete. So yeah, as soon as I've got another bed going in there, I'm going to be planting those ones into there, and then seeing if the plants are any different once they grow to full size. So apart from that, that is everything for in here. I've got some lavender seeds that I've just noticed are they're germinating. I think you can maybe see one on there. Yeah. But yeah, they're starting to germinate, so that's nice at least. I wasn't sure whether they would or not. They were from a couple of weeks ago in a video as well, so if you're interested in sowing some lavender up and getting those going. I also did the cuttings in that video as well. I've got that over here as well. That's still going, and this is maybe like 3 or 4 weeks now, so this is still going, so that's definitely taken, which is nice. That middle one maybe not so much. I mean, it looks all right, but this one's even flowered, so yeah, they've done all right. So if you're interested in doing cuttings or sowing lavender, definitely check that video out. I'll leave a link for that one in the description. But yeah, apart from that, that is it for in here. So let's have a look outside. Ugh, right, I just got to step up there and not bang my head on the greenhouse. So the first thing I'm going to come out here is my raised bed with my potatoes in, and I've got these in containers inside the raised bed. I built it around it out of one of my other raised beds, and it turned out quite nice actually. So I've got 6 in here. As you can see, I've got the net over it. That's just to stop all the crows and everything from going inside it, because if I've learned one thing about the crows here at this allotment, they'll dig in anything. So yeah, these are just grown in the sawdust, which has kindly been donated by the guinea pigs. First earlies are the ones that you can see growing there. I actually planted all of these a bit later than usual this year, because in the past they always get done by the frost at the last minute. So these are just first earlies. I think I've got 8 in each tub. I've done 8 seed potatoes, but these are pretty much just at the top of the net now. So I'll probably uncover these ones maybe tomorrow, or yeah, probably tomorrow actually. Then I've got second earlies in there. That's still pretty shallow. They've not started to grow yet. And then I've got my main crop as well. These are Desiree, and I really like these, and these always grow really well in the sawdust, so I've gone with those again for this year. But yeah, I've done this one a bit deeper, just because they're going to be in there a bit longer, so I thought I'll start them off a bit deeper and make sure they get well established. So I think we'll go around this way. So try and get a better angle here. This is there we go, beans, and these are the Dragon's Breath French beans, the dwarf ones, and I've just made some normal cane little TP things for those to climb up. And then I've got what are they? I can't even remember what kind these are. Some kind of other bean. Are the Belotti or something like that? I don't know. But yeah, the separate varieties, and that's all that matters at the minute. I'll work out which ones they are once I start harvesting them. For some reason I had 2 more of these ones, so I've done put 2 more of those ones in there. I've got some black currants growing here. I never actually show anyone these ones, but yeah, some nice black currants there. They look like they've all been pollinated. They're all growing quite nicely. And then I've got raspberries here. I think I put 6 canes in here, and there's only 2 growing now, so I think I'm gonna have to get some more next year, put a couple more in there. And then on this bed, which is the one, if you've been watching for quite a while, this is the one that I had the peas in originally. If you remember I think it was maybe my second video or something like that. I did the peas video, so that was those. And then you can see there's loads and loads and loads of weeds in here, and I don't think any have germinated yet, but I've got my beetroot in here. You can sort of see how rubbish this soil is. It's absolutely terrible. Just behind those, I've got 2 rows of the hydroponic lettuces in, and they're looking quite nice actually. They were looking worse. They're starting to establish a bit in the middle. They did get a bit of a shock when I put them in, because it was just so sunny at the time. It was absolutely roasting, so they weren't doing great, but they're starting to look a bit nicer now. They've gone really nice dark red, and they're looking nice. And then obviously behind there I've got some onions as well. Tons of weeds growing in between, but they're starting to get a bit bigger now. I was hoping they'd actually be a little bit bigger. I must have put them in a bit too late, because I've got to put the squashes and pumpkins in there, and obviously the bed next to it as well. I've left that space ready to go, but Got the big pumpkin arch. Gonna grow all my squashes and pumpkins up that this year, and they're gonna look pretty nice, hopefully. But I need those onions to hurry up a bit in the meantime. So which way should I go? Go around this way. Got a big log there, that's to grow some oyster mushrooms in. I picked that up last week, so hopefully be able to get some time to do that. Cherry tree looking amazing. This is all sort of blossomed quite a couple of weeks ago now, but yeah, it's doing absolutely amazing. There's absolutely tons and tons and tons of cherries on this. Can't wait for that one. That's one of my favourites. This is the second year that this has been fruiting, so that's looking good. Into the polytunnel. Common thing with these, broken zip tied together, so I can only like half open this side of it now. I do know Steve on Greenside Up did a tutorial on converting this to a door on these green ones, so that was pretty good. I might actually zoom out a bit here. Let's have a look, see if I can yeah, there we go, that's a bit better, isn't it? Yeah, I did a tutorial for converting this into a door, so I'll try and find that one if you're having this kind of problem. It's a really good tutorial, so I'll try and find that. But yeah, I do need to do that. I've been saying I'm going to do it since like the year before last when I put it in, but yeah, still not there. Anyway, in the polytunnel, this is my latest bed that I've dug out. This is all cucumbers here, just well, I've got 9 there, and then I've got 5 gherkins. I don't know how I ended up with 1 short, but for whatever reason I've ended up with 1 short. Yeah, so I've got nine cucumber plants there. They should start growing pretty nicely now. I've got them in there. Those gherkins have definitely grown a bit since the other day. They weren't that big when I put them in. They was only in little pots. So yeah, they're doing really good. And then next to that is all of my pots. I did say that I had loads and loads of pots in here. So I've got my cabbages, I've got some chard. I know that's a bit of a touchy subject with everyone. I've got some rhubarb there. That was one of the ones that I found on the compost heap, and I put it in the pot again. And in fact, there's 2 there. There's a little one next to it, and then they've got that big one there. So I didn't think they'd grown. I grew them from seed last year. They looked like they were dead, but yeah, they're still going. So that, I'm not sure what's happened there. And I've got a couple of loofahs growing behind there. I'm going to get them planted in the ground in here soon. I think that's the next bed that I'm going to get dug out in here. I've got a couple more brassicas there. I brought them from the tent at home. They're just absolutely massive, and I've got nowhere to plant them, so that's another one that's on the list. There's just so many jobs and so many things need doing, just can't keep up with them. There's a video from Saturday. I did the tomato hanging basket, and when I did that video I did say I wasn't sure whether these were going to self-right themselves and start growing back up again with some heliotropism towards the sun, but yeah, they're looking nice, they're looking healthy, so they're looking like they're establishing quite well in there. And I'm sure once they do start getting a bit bigger, that weight's going to start taking them over and they're going to start trailing a bit. Down here I've got loads of courgettes. I didn't think they was going to germinate because the last load that I sold this year didn't bother, so it must have just been the temperature or something. Loads of sunflowers. They're pretty desperate for a water, and I'm going to do that in a minute. And then tons and tons of pumpkins, squashes. Got loads and loads of them on the go this year. More chard, as if I needed more chard. The guinea pigs like it anyway, so even if I don't eat it, I'm sure they're going to eat it and they'll enjoy it. And then yeah, loads of melons as well. I've got loads of watermelons and loads of other types as well. I haven't even bothered putting tags in most of the things this year because I just yeah, they'll all go in eventually. Other than that, in here at the moment, it's all still covered over. Just leave it covered over, and then I haven't actually dug any beds in here since this is the first year I've done it. So that was the first bed that I've put in here, the cucumber one. So that's the first time I've dug these out. So yeah, the soil's awful, as I keep saying. It's full of glass and all sorts, so I put it off as long as I can. But I'm sick of paying for grow bags. I waste so much money on grow bags every year that I said this year I am going to start digging the beds in and start putting them in the ground. And the tomatoes in the other greenhouses, you'll see, are absolutely loving it, so it's definitely the right decision. Yeah, this is the garlic, and this is looking really good. It's actually starting to go yellow now, which is the good sign, because that means that it is going to be ready to harvest soon. And if you can just see on that one there, that is starting to look like it's got a nice bulb on the bottom of it. Yeah, and I've seen these scapes as well. I've never actually I think this is just because they're in the polytunnel, so they've gone to seed a bit. But yeah, apparently these are really nice. I've never actually had them before, so hopefully we'll see. Apparently when they're ready they start curling. never had them grow, so yeah, we'll see how they go. And then I've got the grapevine as well that I thought was dead. Keep going on about this grapevine, but yeah, I thought it was dead, and I was going to go back to Dobby's where I got it from and kick off, because they've got the lifetime guarantee thing. But yeah, that's looking nice. It's growing quite well actually as well. It looks bigger every day. So yeah, that's it for the polytunnel for now really. I've got the strawberries and stuff, but they're pretty boring. So yeah, go and have a look in the other greenhouse, eh? Ugh, gotta bend down to get through there, killing my back, especially when I've been digging. Some nice fresh bark on here. Here's the try for the camera to catch up. Yeah, here's the onion scraps plant. And this is looking really nice. They did actually start bolting this week. I left them in the greenhouse for too long really, but you know, you can see on the bottom there, they have still got three relatively nice looking onions growing on the bottom. So yeah, there we go. Up to now it's still going. So what are we on? I think it was maybe July or August when I did the video originally. So approaching 2 years anyway, not far off, maybe 21 months or something. So it's definitely got further than I expected it to anyway for a little bit of onion. And then obviously we've got all the seeds in the greenhouse as well. Just outside here you'll notice one of my absolutely enormous comfrey plants. I'm not going to touch it because it irritates my skin. And this is another one. If you check through my videos, I'll leave a link for it. If you want to make your own fertilizer, this plant is absolutely amazing. You can soak it in water, the plant breaks down, and it makes some of the absolute best fertilizer that you can get for free. The other trouble is it absolutely reeks. It smells awful. It smells worse than manure anyway. But yeah, I don't normally just leave it to grow like this. It'll just grow absolutely wild. It goes crazy. It has these rather nice flowers on it. It's a bit like borage and similar plants like that, but I'll leave it to flower anyway. Let the bees have a go at it, because the bees absolutely love it as well. You probably see a couple of these knocking around on the allotment. I've got the one on the other side of the other side of my greenhouse. Yeah, you can see it there going around the other side. I do need to cut that down though, because it's blocking the light from coming in. Yeah, like I say, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get this and put it all into this water butt and just make a massive vat of fertilizer just to blast all over everything in the summer. So that'll be really nice when it comes up. And then as we go in, we've got the 6 cucumber plants in the grow bags. I think these are one of the only things that I'm growing in grow bags this year. I've got one left in the other thing, and that's just because it floods at this bit. This, for whatever reason, maybe the ground level's lower or whatever than everywhere else, so it does flood in this bit of the greenhouse once it starts raining loads. So I decided to put grow bags here just to make sure that nothing gets absolutely flooded out. Just got a couple of tomatoes and stuff just ready to go in. And I've got a container full of carrots that I did that for a seed of the week. That's doing absolutely amazing. They're probably the best looking carrots I think I've ever grown, so gonna give them a thinning out and keep trying to keep them going. Just on this side, got all the pepper plants, obviously more weeds. Can't keep up with the weeds, I swear. I do this every week. Yeah, you can just see here, absolutely getting hammered with these little green beetle things, which I need to work out how I'm going to get rid of them, because they're absolutely doing my head in. Pretty much just only the pepper plants, and specifically I think they're quite fond of this particular variety. These are California Gold, something like that. Obviously I've still got all these lettuces growing in between, and these have gone absolutely berserk. They're absolutely enormous. I'm going to take some of these home today. Not these ones, because the pepper plants are still quite small. So I'm quite happy with them just growing in between for now. I mean, look, these are the same ones as I did outside in the other bed. So you can kind of see the difference once they do establish and start growing a bit better. And look at the size of these. They're absolutely massive. I don't know if that's because of the mycorrhizal fungi that I put in there. that was another video a couple of weeks ago. If you're fresh and you've not seen that one, do check that out, because you know, it's absolutely amazing for your plants, especially things like this, like lettuces and leafy vegetables, not brassicas, but peppers and stuff like that. So it's obviously doing something good, because they're probably the biggest lettuces I think I've ever grown. I've got my corn seedlings here. I only sowed these maybe 2 weeks ago, so I left them late as well. I was up in Scotland, wasn't I, so I've a bit behind on some stuff. And then I've got all my jalapeno plants. I put all those in the pots for now, because I wasn't sure where I was going to put them. Maybe I thought I might move them around. And then on this side, I've got all my tomatoes. Absolutely tons and tons of tomato plants. And yeah, these are doing absolutely amazing. I think these are the biggest tomato plants I've ever had at the sort of this stage anyway. They're normally still a bit smaller than this, and all absolutely covered in flowers as well. Absolutely flowers everywhere, and then more lettuces hiding underneath. I think these are the ones I might take out today, actually. I have got a tub here waiting, so yeah, I've got 3 there. There's another 3 there lurking, and I've got another couple lurking underneath. They're everywhere. I have the camera to turn itself up. There we go. So this is one thing I did do the other day. I came in and I pruned back all the sort of secondary stems and everything on these. These are absolutely ready for staking now. I need to do that this week. That's another job. Yeah, they're starting to lean a bit under the weight, but there's one that I've missed. Look at that, it goes all the way from the bottom, so I'll just get my knife out. Obviously, that's one of the jobs that you need to keep on top on with tomatoes, because they're just absolutely crazy. I mean, that's where they start there, so you're looking sort of in between your main stem and where your leaves are, so you'll always get them just growing in those little internodes there. So all you need to do, when they're that big, just pick them off. I think I got most of them the other day. That's obviously a fresh one, but if you're not careful, like me, you'll end up with them like this, and it's pretty much its own independent tomato plant that's leaching all the nutrients out of the main plant, which is obviously what we don't want. So got my knife at the ready. Let's have a look. Where is it? It's just down there. Trying to not cut my fingers off while I'm doing this one-handed. Well, this is a difficult job, doing this while also filming it. There we go. And I'll pull that out there. Ugh. There we go. As you can see, it's like its own tomato plant. I can pot this up now. It'll grow roots, and it'll grow an entirely new tomato plant. I might just do that, actually. Yeah, I'll do that, and then you can see how that works. I know Steve at Greenside Up, he absolutely loves doing that. He does all of his, and sort of doubles and triples his tomatoes every year just by doing that. So yeah, I mean, you can see there it's got another one growing in there. They just grow and grow and grow and keep growing out of all these nodes. But yeah, tell you what, I'll chuck that on the floor there. I'll pot it up in a minute, and then I'll show you that next time. But let's have a look. I'll get some of these lettuces. I've got a tub here. Let's have a see. And if I pull one of these up, you can sort of, it's like tomato leaves everywhere. You can sort of see how easily these come up, because they're little grow plug ones. There we go. Nice root ball underneath. Obviously ignoring all the rubbish in the background, eh? But yeah, I mean, they've had something's had a bit of a snack on them. Sort of, they have been here a lot longer than I'd expected. But yeah, I mean, look at the size of them. They're absolutely massive. Let's get a couple of those out, because these have all got to start coming out this week, because they're obviously in the shadow of the tomato plant, and I'd rather have all the airflow going round under there. There's another one. Tell you what, let's get one of these. Have a look at what this is like. There we go. See, I mean, look at that. It's literally just come up with the plug still on the bottom. And it's grown amazingly. So, yeah, that's really weird. There we go. But, I mean, I suppose that's in some part due to the plant doesn't need to invest energy into growing roots for nutrients, because obviously it's getting enough just from them roots to grow a nice plant like that. So that's absolutely amazing. I'm absolutely made up with that. Take those home, got them in there in my tub, ready to go. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll take one of these red ones as well. The guinea pigs love the red ones. So this is all extremely difficult to do one-handed. This one's in a bit better. There we go. I mean, look at the size of the roots on that. And that's why they're so big, because they're obviously investing all their energy into leaf growth. They don't need to invest it in root growth because they're getting all the nutrients that they need just from that root ball. And whether that's because of the mycorrhizal fungi in there, I don't know. That's hard to tell without actually doing some science tests, but that looks absolutely amazing. I'm really chuffed with that. Yeah. So apart from that, I think I've shown you everything. I do have an invasive plant at the back of the allotment that I'm going to go and show you now. But yeah, apart from that, let's get that in there. That looks nice. That is everything. There we go. Nice tub of lettuces. All right, so let's go to the back and I'll show you these plants. This is absolute dump on the way over. This is... well, it's my corn bed from last year. It's got some rubbish chucked on it that I've sort of just been chucking on as I go along. That's going to be getting sorted maybe in the next week. I want to put a permanent structure there to sort of put my corn in, to grow my corn in without the squirrels all getting it. So I do want to sort of build maybe a cage or something. I've got loads of chicken wire at the back that was here when I got the allotment, along with all the other rubbish. But yeah, I do want to do that maybe, because the other side as well, I didn't dig that out. It's just got carpets on it at the moment. So I don't know what that's going to be like underneath. That's a job for the next week or something. Here we go, right at the very back of the allotment in the back corner. And this is where I'm growing my nettles. These are just going to be going in that water butt with all the comfrey and everything. I've got a bit of it growing around here somewhere anyway. Oh yeah, there's sort of one just sneaking around in there. But apart from the nettles and the comfrey, you'll notice these plants here as well. These are a super invasive Himalayan balsam, and these are illegal to intentionally propagate or grow in the UK because they're just super destructive for biodiversity and things. I mean, these plants at the moment, I mean, that's one of the good things about them anyway, because they grow so fast. They're really obvious where they are, because you'll see them coming up everywhere if they're around where you live. But yeah, these grow up to 6 or 7 feet tall, which is sort of over 2 meters tall, and then they have sort of trumpety pink flowers on. I'll put a picture on of the flowers, but yeah, they've got trumpety pink flowers on. Bees absolutely love them, which is sort of nice in one way, but yeah, they absolutely outcompete everything around it. And then they've got exploding seed pods as well. So you've got these seed pods that are 6 or 7 feet tall up in the air, and they'll just explode, disperse seeds absolutely everywhere, carpet the entire floor with the seeds. And then obviously next year you've got even more of a problem, and they just keep growing and growing and growing. But one of the good things with these is they pull up really easily. So if I just get that, give it a small pull, the whole thing comes up. With the roots as well, they've got really small root balls. Even once they really establish, you'll see that they've still got these really small root balls on them, and they are really easy to pull up. Even when they're like 6 or 7 feet tall, you can still pull them up really easily. And when they're at this stage, you can compost them. They'll compost really nicely, full of moisture. But once they do get bigger, they do have a lot of lignin in, and they go really woody, so they don't break down as well, and they just end up like little wooden tubey things in your compost, and they don't break down as well. And when they've not set seed either, perfectly fine to compost. They're not gonna spread or anything. And those roots, once they go in the compost, they'll break down as well. So all of these are going to get pulled up this week. They're going to go on the compost. Going to leave the nettles for now. I've got loads of nettles growing everywhere. Just leave them and then stick them in the water butt to make the fertilizer with the comfrey. And yeah, that's it. Well, there we go. That's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos every week, and check out all of those other videos that I've been mentioning. Got loads of experiments on the go, like the tomatoes. Still got the onion slice. Like I say, that's been going for the last 2 years. So check out all of those videos. I'll leave links for them in the description as well. Don't forget to let me know in the comments how your gardens are getting on, or your allotments, or whatever it is that you're growing, because I love hearing all of the things that you've got on the go as well. I'll see you next time.